Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Will Wyvern. Today I want to talk about an Egyptian goddess, Bastet. Now, these are my thoughts, my beliefs, and my opinions. I share them with you so you can grow in your practice, find what works for you. Now, Bastet is a fantastic goddess when I want to call on protection, when I want to call on guidance, when I want to call on adventure. And the reason why, because I find Bastet, just looking at her, looking at these two images, she looks seductive. She looks alluring. She's like inviting you in. She's calling you in because she wants you to experience new things. She wants to show you what all the world has to offer. She wants to show you everything that you can grasp, everything that you can have. And she's not just going to push you into it. She's going to hold your hand and guide you. She's going to give you protection from what's unknown. She's going to give you courage to make that step. So Bastet is someone you can call on when you want to make that new journey, when you want to take those new steps, and you want guidance. You want someone who's going to go along with you, someone who's going to protect you while she shows you all these new things. And I know a lot of people, they want change. They want to grow, they want to learn, they want to experience new things. Bastet is a fantastic goddess to call on for that. You can go and make a small altar to Bastet. You can make a small tabletop sacred space for her. Anywhere that you can invite her down, invite her into your practice, and then just call on her. You can do a very simple ritual, a very simple spell to ask Bastet for guidance. Now, she's an ancient Egyptian goddess, and a lot of people practice Kemetism. What that is the revival of pagan Egyptology, the Egyptian belief and practices of the gods. Now, some people, they call back to the old way, the way of thousands of years of, honoring these gods and goddesses. And some people are into neo-paganism, where they're doing a new practice or a new type of worship or a new way of acknowledging these gods and goddesses. Now, I'm not going to get into the differences now. That'd take me hours. But you can go ahead and do a little research. And what that's going to boil down to is finding what works for you. When you look at Bastet, when you pull up a picture of her, when you pull up an image of her, and you look at her, what do you feel? Because that's explains how it's going to play into your practice. That is the key on how you're going to build a relationship with Bastet. When you look at her, do you see someone who's going to protect you? Do you see someone who's going to guide you? Do you see someone who's going to give you courage and strength? Because if you look back at Bastet, thousands of years, she was an Egyptian goddess. And during that time, she was constantly evolving and changing. The worship of her was constantly changing, depending on who the pharaoh was, depending on who the religious high priests were, depending on, what was going on in the world. Because everyone wanted their god or goddess to be important. If there was famine going on, then Bastet may suddenly be a goddess of good fortune and wealth and prosperity in the fields. If there was a war going on, then she might be a goddess of protection and strength for battle and for fighting. If there was a shortage of children going on, or a lot of children were dying in childbirth, then she was a goddess of fertility. She evolved, she changed. And so you don't have to listen to what other people say Bastet is. You can find out what Bastet is to you. What is she to you? What does she represent to you? What is she going to help you with? Look at Bastet. An easy way to do this, have a simple ceremony where you're just sitting with a candle alone in the dark in a sacred space, You can have a statue of Bastet, you can have a picture of Bastet, you can have a little drawing, you can have a small cat figurine, anything that's going to make you envision Bastet. And as you're sitting there quietly, as you're sitting there meditating, just ask yourself, what do you feel when you look at her? Because that's what's going to work for you. That's what's going to make your bond to Bastet. Do you feel safe, secure? Do you feel anxious and nervous? Do you feel safe, like you're ready to go on a journey? Do you feel alone in the dark and you're not sure where whatever you feel, focus on that. That's going to be your bond to Bastet, and then you need to work on that. If you think that your relationship is going to be one of protection, then call on Bastet when you need protection. If you think that she's going to help you grow and travel new journeys and new paths, then call on her for that. Find out what your relationship is going to be, and don't be afraid or don't be discouraged if you don't feel anything, or if your initial feeling changes and grows or evolves, because as you work with Bastet, you may see a change. You may feel that she's helping you on a journey, or she's helping you on discovery and exploration, but after a year or two, you may find that you're in a good space and you don't need to evolve or grow anymore, but you still need protection, you still need comfort, you still need companionship on the journey. So keep her in your life under that role as someone who's protecting you, keeping you safe. You know, you're in a good spot. She's going to help you continue to grow, but you're not going to adventure out, or you're not going to explore new things. You're happy where you are now. Now, Bastet is also known as the cat goddess. She's envisioned when she first came into being, when the Egyptians first started worshiping her, she was a lioness figure. She was a lioness without the mane, just the lioness head. And as they understood her more, as they worked with her more, it evolved into a gentler cat figure. Instead of a vicious, cruel, warlike lioness, she evolved more to a caring cat type figure. She could still give you protection, but she wasn't as violent or warlike. So that's why she evolved. And a lot of witches like the black cat image of her. They tie cats to a lot of what they do. A lot of witches, their familiar is a cat, or they work with cats, or they have cat figurines or cat images. So that's why a lot of witches are drawn to Bastet. Now, I haven't really experienced any link to magic with Bastet, but I have noticed a very strong tie to exploring and experimenting with new things. She is great for growing and trying new things. If you want to try a new spell, if you want to try a new type of magic. Now, I know there are some people who are herb witches. They like working with herbs and plants. I know some people are crystal witches. They like working with crystals and gems and stones. Some people are elemental witches. They like working with the elements. Whatever you are. If you want to try a new type of magic, Bastet would be great for helping you on that journey. Maybe not so much calling on her to help you with that magic, but calling on her to help you on the journey, to help you grow. That's why she's linked sometimes to Thoth, the god of knowledge. And because she helps you learn new knowledge, she gives you the courage to try new things. So if you want to try a new job, if you want to try moving to a new location, if you want to try a new relationship, if you want to try something new, Bastet is good for that because she can give you the courage you need. You can call on her for courage. you can call on her for strength to make this decision, to make this journey, to make this change in your life. Bastet is great for that. And as always, these are things that work for me. And these are things that I've heard work for other people. Try them, find what works for you, and I think Bastet is going to make a wonderful collection to your practice. She's going to help you grow. She's going to help you learn new things. She's beautiful. She's sultry. She's seductive. She's mysterious. There's so much about Bastet that I love that ties into my practice and has helped me over the years. I hope you try. I hope you explore. I hope you experiment. That's my motto: explore, experiment, learn new things, grow, change, evolve, welcome in new things to your life, be open to change, be open to possibilities, be open to everything that's out there. And Bastet is the goddess you can call on to help you with that. I wish you great success in your journey. I hope you try it. I hope you succeed. And as always, I wish you blessings and thank you.